everything over the years, and I'm quite surprised I've not shared this recipe with you all, because while I am not a fan of peaches, ripe peaches, and don't get tied up, Uncle Chris have access to some of the best peaches in the world very close to home. Winona area down, not too far from me, a 30-minute drive. It's, Georgia. We come in for the title. Anyways, peach chow. A few things I want to point out. Well, let's go run through the ingredients. We've got peaches, which I cut into wedges. Yeah. I've got some red onion I sliced thinly. That is a key ingredient. Don't hold back on it. Everything I'm showing you here. And here's the thing. Don't tell me, Chris, this don't belong in chow and that don't belong in chow, because ultimately, peaches don't grow in the Caribbean. So this entire recipe is something new for many people. So there is no traditional kind of format for this. We've got the peaches, we've got the red onions, I've got some chopped up shadow benny that is straight out of my garden. I was successful this year in growing shadow benny. And this is what the shadow benny looks like. I have it in water right now because it's also called culantro. I have it in water because I'm doing a mother-in-law recipe, and that recipe is coming soon as well too. If you can't source that, you can check the Asian markets, the West Indian markets, they usually have it. Cilantro is a good option, totally up to you. I've got some garlic, I've got 2 lemons and a lime. Yes, follow along, you're gonna love that one. I've got a Scotch bonnet pepper and a fatali pepper. How hot you make this is totally up to you, your tolerance level. If I had habanero peppers, I would use habanero in this because I love the fruity flavor and the punch of heat from the habanero pepper. We also need some sea salt, and I'll obviously need a little bit of water and some black pepper. What we need to do is, what I would recommend doing is once you've washed the peaches really good, cut them up and allow it to air dry. When it air dries, it sucks up some of the heat and the vitality. The vitality. Hey, all right, what you smoked today, horse? Anyhow, tip: allow it to air dry a little bit because it's gonna suck in all those wonderful juices that we're gonna put on there. And all you're gonna do is take your paring knife. There is your washed and dry peach. And just you're gonna bounce onto the seed or the pit, and you're gonna work your way all the way around, like so. You're gonna hit that to twist, like so, yeah? So once out, depending on how ripe it is, you may be able to poke that and pull that out. If not, all you would do is, using the paring knife, go down, like so, until you hit the seed, and push. Boom, see how easy that came out? One more time, all the way down and push. Oh, the entire thing fell apart. This one is a little bit too ripe for me, so you're not getting use. But anyhow, then you would just slice this, boom, bam, like that, and you're good to go. Now, earlier I said I don't like peaches, but there are 2 ways I like peaches. One, the young peach, the baby peach, when it's still green, when it's about this size. I've had it. If you ever in Trinidad and Tobago and you're at the Maracas lookout point, they have preserved peaches. I'm going to sort this out after, which is the sort of red peach, spicy, peppery. Yeah, I love it like that. You got a crunch. And the other way is in chow, and it has to be firm, hard peaches. Yeah, nectarines would work great as well too. Time to pull out the mortar and pestle. We're gonna need that salt in there, and that salt is gonna act as an abrasive sort of mechanism. We've got the garlic. I'm just gonna give that a rough chop. When handling hot peppers like Scotch bonnet, fatali, habanero, all those things, wear gloves and wash your hands immediately after with soap and water. Yeah, putting the entire pepper in there. I ain't putting the fatali. We can use a fatali in the mother-in-law recipe that I'm gonna do. We're gonna crush this until it's relatively smooth, and I think I've shared this tip with you before. You may want to wear gloves. You would put your hand over it so anything that jumps back would hit on your hand and fall in there. This way it's not coming up at your eyes. And once you get it going, you don't need to do that. I'm just gonna crush crush this, as I mentioned earlier. You can see what's happening inside there. The other option is to cut the Scotch bonnet pepper into big pieces, so later on when anybody's eating this, and chow is basically a sort of a pickle, a sort of a snack. You're having some adult beverages, boom, yo, kind of best thing. But anyhow, if you wanted to chop the Scotch bonnet pepper into big pieces so people can identify it and not eat an actual piece of that pepper, you can certainly do that. Yeah, as a kid, without the adult beverages, this was one of my favorite snacks, and the most traditional way to make this in the Caribbean is with green mango. Next up, I'm gonna go directly in there with my lemon juice and my lime juice. This way I'm gonna be able to sort of rinse the inside. Oh, look at that. Rinse the inside with the citrus juices here. And the citrus juice, I'm telling you, boy, it adds a wicked flavor. So don't hold back on the combination of the lime and the lemon. If all they have is lime, that is fine. But I think the lime is the more important ingredient between the two citruses. Add the last wedge of lemon in there. Really juicy and nice. I'm just gonna hit this a little scrapey scrape. And all we're gonna do is work that. Just look at that. That there is fiery, salty garlic, boy. That there is pure pleasure in my humble opinion, yes, boy? Yeah, a freak like that. It's gonna go in with that shadow benny at this point. And again, that would be called culantro. In the Asian markets, it would be called something else. But remember, you can also use coriander or cilantro if you wanted to. I have the red onions. It's thinly sliced. That onion is going to take on a nice sort of crunch. It's going to add a lovely flavor as well too. I'm just going to hit that a tiny bit more salt. Hit that one more little stir. Knocky to knock. And we're just going to pour this wonderful nectar of the gods. Yeah, I say that because there's a reason. I'm going to hit that with a splash of water. Give it another little mixy mix and more in there, yeah? And the reason why I say nectar of the gods, as a kid growing up on the islands, you know, a little fella who always liked to cause trouble, regardless of the trouble part, we're making that an issue right now. The juice later on, after all, you know, you and your friends, you go through, you eat out all the peach and onions, and yeah, eating the onions too. In those days, it was mango, as I said, or pomsite, or chenet, or plum, or whatever it was. That juice after, man, we would be, oh man, that there, pure niceness. And you notice how easy that was, eh? All you have to do now is a matter of giving this a good mix, and you will need some patience, yeah? You really want to mix this thoroughly because you want the pieces of peach, and this is why we sort of air dried it for about half an hour first. We want the pieces of peach to suck in all of that garlic, the shadow benny. Yeah, that onion is adding nice flavor too, and don't sleep on that Scotch bonnet pepper. So easy. So allow this to marinate, and yo, if you wanted to put this into a jar or plastic container or whatever and put it in the fridge. Sup soldiers? Listen, if you enjoy this recipe, I'd really appreciate it if you hit subscribe and click that bell notification thing. If you've made the recipe, take a picture and send it to me, email address down here. I'm really trying to tell people the email address, them butts will take the address and do all kind of thing with it. And tag me on Instagram at Caribbean Pod. I really appreciate you guys, and thanks for being in my kitchen with me today. Irene? In the fridge, this would easily last a week. The only thing is, the sort of texture will change on you. So the firmer these peaches you use, put that in there, that's in, yo, we ain't wasting, try to go over season. The firmer the peaches are when you start off with this, the better quality you will get during that 1 week period, yeah? Allow it to marinate for about 20 minutes, half an hour, and then dig in. I mean, let's say you gotta like it fiery, you gotta like it spicy. Peach chow. I do hope you guys brave enough to give this one a try. Uncle Chris here saying, I'm gonna tuck in right away. Alright? Irene. What's up, soldiers? Don't forget to click subscribe. If you've already clicked subscribe, hit that bell notification thing. I want to all you missing out on the new videos, man. Come on, click.